Talk to a lot of sellers every day. We'll talk about pricing their house, talk about the price that they were at, and what they want to go back to if they go back on the market. We talk about houses that are off the market now, want to go back on the market. All comes down to price. It's one of the biggest conversations that we have. There are some very big misconceptions on what are we going to base the price on, and want to address that today. 4 big misconceptions about what the price should be based on. It should only be based on one thing. What is that? Let's break it down. Steve, Malone Realty Group, EXP in the Atlanta area. Hope you're doing well. So let's get right down to it. Because like I talk about, we talk to homes and owners around the area every day. That's our job, is to go out and find homes for our buyers, find buyers for the sellers, is to be out there and be active, okay, and talking to people, talk about real estate. And earlier today, I got another time, and I hear this a lot, and I thought this is a great opportunity to break this down because it's March 2nd recording this, so the very beginning of March, we're getting ready to really take off on the spring season. So as we list homes and price homes, we say this all the time. Pricing is the most important marketing piece that we have in your house. If it is priced wrong, the house either A, is not going to sell, B, it's going to sell, but it's going to make you a lot less money because we went too high, we missed the wave of excitement, it went by, and we're going to be too low on what we make. Or C, we make too little money because we priced the house too low. So we've got to find the right price, okay? So 4 things that people mistakenly use to figure out what we're going to ask for the house, and the number one important thing when figuring out the price. So let's break it down. Here we go. To really do this video correctly, we're going to have to give away the correct answer first. And then we'll backtrack into why the 4 wrong answers are the wrong answers using the right answer. The right answer. What do we use to determine what the house is worth? Market price. If your house or if your neighborhood houses very similar to yours, same bedroom, same bathroom, same whatever, sold for $400,000. Next door to you, $400,000. Across the street from you, $400,000. Down the street, $400,000. All the same house, all the same bedrooms, all the same bathrooms, all the same whatever. They all sold for $400,000 within the last couple of months. Your house is going to sell for somewhere in the neighborhood of exactly $400,000. That's the market price. We want to get as much out of it. Maybe if enough time goes by, we can push it. If the house is, you can demonstrate the fact that the value is way higher in your house than those other houses. Like if your house is without a doubt $10,000 to $20,000 better because it's bigger, it has more bedrooms, it has more acreage, it has like kicking Brazilian granite in the kitchen, whatever you want to call it. If you can demonstrate that my house is without a doubt $10,000 to $20,000 better than all these other houses based on the house is bigger, the house has upgrades, things like that, blah, 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 then maybe we can push the envelope, okay? But at the end of the day, the market price is the market price. That's the price that if we go to market, you're going to get for the house, okay? I say that to now introduce to you 4 things that we hear a lot as far as we're going to use this to help us determine the price. So let's break all those down and why the market price kind of works better than those other ones. So let's break those misconceptions down now. One of the biggest misconceptions that we get is people want to price the house based on what they owe on the house, or they want to buy the house based on what the sellers actually owe on the house. What you owe on the house has absolutely zero at all to do with what the home is worth. Okay? Same exact thing that we just talked about. House across the street was 400, house next door is 400. Okay? Let's just take those 2 houses. Across the street, next door, both sold for 400. The guy across the street from you lived there for 25 years. He bought the house for $150,000. He made $250,000. He's kicking it right now, right? So the person next to you, they bought like 3 or 4 years ago. They probably bought at 300 or 325. They still did pretty good. But obviously the people next door to you, they're going to owe more money on the house than the people across the street, right? Probably, yeah, that's fine. Has no bearing whatsoever on what the person across the street sold for or the person next door sold for. What they owed on the house had nothing to do with it, okay? So a lot of times people say, well, I need to make, I need to sell it and, get a certain amount to help pay off this or pay off that. That's fine. But just know that if you can't do that based on the market price, then you can't do that based on the market price. You can't price it based on that. I mean, you can do whatever you want. A lot of realtors just won't take that listing. They won't list your house because the house will be too high. A perfect example is if somebody bought last year in the middle of all the craziness and they overpaid by $100,000. They overpaid by $100,000 last year and they need to sell right now, they may not get that money. So they may try and selling that house for $100,000 over where it's really supposed to be because that's what they owe on it. That doesn't mean they're going to get it. That's not the market price of the house right now. So that's what we want to keep us in mind. So as we're listing our house, we have a tendency to think about what we owe on it to help dictate the price. What we owe on it has nothing to do with it. Okay, again, it's the market price. We get this one. This is number 2. We get this one a lot. And this is probably one of the biggest ones that we do get. And I talked to somebody earlier today, said this exact thing, okay? They were selling their house, and they gave me the number that they needed to make to walk away from the house after they paid commissions and whatever. We need to make this number. That number was higher than probably what they will end up making, unless they sell it for sale by owner and somebody comes along and overpays for it. What you need to make, and I mean, like I said, you sell your house for whatever you want to sell your house for. If you want to put a for sale sign in your house, if it's worth, let's say it's worth $350, and you want to put a for sale sign out front that says $375, okay, you can do that. Okay, the house won't sell. Okay, nobody's going to overpay by $25,000 in this market. Now, last year in April, shoot, man, I'm with you. Let's go. It's worth $350. We'll list it $375. We'll sell for $425. I'm okay with that. That's not this market. And that is not the normal market. That's like once every 50 years kind of market, okay? Where we are right now, and it's hard because you're trying to make a move. You're trying to leave and sell this house so you can go either buy this house or go rent so you can put money away or you can pay off some bills or everybody has a reason to buy and to sell or to buy and to rent or to buy and to move or whatever. And we got to get as much from here as possible to make all of this happen, right? Completely understand that. The most important thing, though, is we got to remember that what we're trying to get for the house, again, what we want to get has nothing to do with the market price. Okay, so we just got to keep that in mind. It's hard. I know it's hard. Personally, of what you want to get and all the dreams that you have and all that stuff. You got to remember the market price. Okay, now talking about personal type things, that's one of the other things that we hear a lot. So that is number 3. So number 3, personal attachment. Your house. All right, I'm gonna give you that same scenario I just gave you. Cross the street, next door. Across the street dude sells for $400. Next door dude sells for $400. Okay, he's lived here 20 years, 25 years. This guy's lived here 5 years, whatever. You've lived in yours for like 10, 15 years. You brought all your kids home there after they were born. So you got 3 kids, they all came home. Or you got married and you and your wife or you and your husband moved back in the house. Whatever it is, that we have some personal stuff going on in the house. Okay. You have lived there. You've made memories there. You've laughed. You've cried. You've had family over. You've had all that stuff. Parties. So that's your home, right? Next door to you is a house. Across the street from you is a house. But your home, everybody, myself included, everybody thinks that their home is worth more. Everybody. I don't care who you are. I'm a realtor. And I know that that's not the fact, but I know that we've done little things to the house and it should make my house worth more. And then I have to check myself and remember, okay, that really doesn't have it. But like the market price is the market price. Okay. I'll give you the perfect example. Let's say you've got a mug, right? Brand new mug. Go to the store. It's a brand new mug. Okay. That mug says $10 on it at the store. How much are you going to pay for it? $10. Right. So you get the mug. And you come home and you drink coffee out of it. Your kids eat ice cream out of it. They get some chips on it, whatever. But it's like it's your favorite mug. It's like a cool mug. Maybe it has something funny on it. Some kind of dad joke on it that would make me laugh, kind of stuff. Anyway, So let's say you're like 10 years down the road and you got to sell that mug at a garage sale. What's that mug worth to you? So you bought it for 10, you've had it, it's got chip in it, whatever. Maybe it's worth $5, $6 at that point. Put it out at the garage sale. Somebody comes to the garage sale, they're going to look at that mug, and what are they going to see? They see a chip mug. They're going to offer you $3 for it. Okay. Now, what's the market price of that mug? I don't know. Probably somewhere between the 3 and the 6. Because the 6 person is overdoing it because they have emotion involved. The $3 person is underdoing it because they're trying to get a deal. So the real value is probably somewhere in the middle, right? Like $4.50, $5, whatever. It's kind of like that. Okay. We get attached to our stuff. It is what it is. We're human beings. That being said, that's why it's really important to bring a realtor in that knows what's going on in the market, that knows how to price houses, that knows what the prices are doing, that knows what the market is doing, that knows, how many buyers are out there, what the interest rates are, things like that. Somebody who can give you a snapshot of, look, your house is awesome. Okay. I can completely understand why you fell in love with the house. I completely understand, why y'all have lived here so long. I'm kind of shocked that you're leaving. Okay. That being said, this is where we are in the market, and for a buyer to come in, see your house and whatever, they're going to pay this. You need somebody that's like a third party that can look at it from the outside. They can put their arm around your shoulder and say, hey, look, love you guys. We're going to do the best possible for you. And this is what it is. Okay. So that's why you want to interview agents, and we want to talk to a lot of them, and you want to find somebody who you connect with that understands that you're human beings. You're trying to get the most out of the house, but at the same time, somebody who's going to protect you from emotions getting in the way. Okay. It's very emotional. Selling houses is emotional. We've sold one house in our lives. We lived there for 14 years. 4 of our kids came home in that house. It was our first house that we bought right after we got married. There was a lot of memories there, all that stuff. It was very emotional. Okay. But thankfully, we were able to check the emotions as much as we could to get the house sold. Okay. And so you need somebody who's going to wrap their arm around you and kind of walk you through that. Okay. So that's number 3. You got to watch the emotions, because the emotions are going to make you think the house is worth a little bit more. Now, one left, number 4. The final thing I want to talk about is people will price their house based on improvements that they've made, and those improvements may actually push their price out of where it's supposed to be. Perfect example. We're going to go back to that same neighborhood. $400,000 across the street, $400,000 next door. Actually, it was the other way. Yeah, that's what it was. That guy and that guy, right? Right. So both houses, $400,000, okay? Both houses have granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, whatever. You come along and you say to yourself, you know what we're going to do to our house before I put it on the market? I'm going to put one of those Viking ovens in the house, in the kitchen. You know what I mean? And we're going to get like a Sub-Zero refrigerator, and we're going to take out the regular island. We're going to put a big giant island in there, and we're going to bring in some of that Brazilian granite or marble or whatever, like real high-end stuff, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the bathroom, and we're going to put in diamond encrusted this and that. We're going to really G up the shower and stuff. And then we're going to go in the backyard, and we're going to put in a $50,000 pool with a waterfall feature and this and that. So when we add it all up, it's going to cost like, let's say $100,000 to do all that. So we're going to sell our house for $500,000. No, you're not going to get $500,000. You're not going to get the extra $100,000. Not every single thing that you put in the house will you get a dollar for dollar return for. Okay, it's very important to talk to a realtor, and this is one of the things that we talk about. Is there are things you can do to your house to improve the look of your house, improve the perceived value of your house that don't cost a lot of money. Those are the ones we want to lean on. You can put a $100,000 kitchen in any house in America. It will not raise the price of most of those, I would say, $100,000. You're not going to get a dollar for dollar return. So, and for 2 reasons. Number one, you're buying that not necessarily as an upgrade to sell. You're buying that as an upgrade to live. A lot of people buy that and they get the really kicking little kitchen. And they think to themselves, I'm going to have a great kitchen. They live in it for 3 years, and then they turn around and sell it, and they try and maximize or try and get every dollar back. Got to remember, you use that. Okay, so that's something. So it's not just to get money back from selling; it's something that you use. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if you put in too much stuff, you can price yourself out of the neighborhood. So let's say that the $400,000 house across the street, $400,000 house over to your side. If you put yourself at $500,000, you've priced yourself out of the neighborhood. That's a $400,000 neighborhood. Maybe upper threes, low fours, right? All of a sudden, a $500,000 house pops up, and who's looking for a $500,000 house in that neighborhood? Nobody. You've priced yourself out of the neighborhood. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. You can overdo it on fixes. Okay, so when we think about improvements, now when we think about improvements, one of the things I keep in mind is if the people across the street got granite, people next door got granite, they both sold for 400, and you don't have granite, there's a chance you may not get the 400. You may only get 380 or 390. So you may have to put in a really nice kitchen, not crazy kitchen, but a nice kitchen with granite and maybe some stainless steel appliances just to get to where you're supposed to be to compare yourself with the guy across the street and the guy next door, right? So keep that in mind. These are all things that realtors can help you with. That's all things that we help our people with, saying, all right, if apples and oranges and everything like that, we add everything up, divide by 3, whatever, bam, this is what your house is worth. If you put this much in, you could sell it for this. So we always say, one of the cheapest things you can do to fix your house and get your house ready, paint, clean the carpets, clean the floors, deep cleaning on the house, declutter, landscaping, like wow factor type stuff. Okay, if you need to do the kitchen, but don't overdo the kitchen. Okay, but if everybody's got the same stuff and whatever, leave it. The house just needs to look clean, needs to look great in pictures, things like that. There are cost-effective ways to get the house sold. You don't want to overspend for the neighborhood. Okay, so that's number 4. Okay, people think to themselves, I'm going to get dollar for dollar on all these crazy things to do to the house, and you're not. Okay, market price is going to dictate what you can get. Doesn't matter what you paid for it. So I wanted to kind of get your minds flowing and thinking about pricing the house and like what we look at when pricing the house. Make no mistake about it. I completely understand because there's been times where, we thought about selling our house before I got into real estate, and we were kind of thinking some of this stuff. And emotions are going to get in the way. What we spend on the house kind of gets in the way. Or all these different things that kind of change. What do we think the price is? What do the buyers think the price is? Things like that. At the end of the day, as emotional as home ownership is, as emotional as it is selling a house, as emotional as it is buying a house, that's really one of the values of having a realtor. Okay, a realtor who, while they have skin in the game and while they have emotion in the game because they're working with you, you're hand in hand with them, things like that, a realtor really should try and kind of put a buffer in there, an emotional buffer, and say, look, I know you want to get every single dollar for this house that you can. I know you will want to get $425 for this house, but across the street they sold for $4, next door they sold for $4, very similar houses. Yeah, there's more buyers right now. It's a hotter market right now. At best, maybe we could go $410. At best, I want to get you $425. But if we go for $425 right now, my concern is that we're going to miss out on all the buyers that are looking for this house in this neighborhood at the market price. If we go too high, we're going to miss the initial push, and we're going to be chasing the price, and then you end up not getting as much. Okay, we need to have those conversations with our people. Okay, and put yourself in a position where you have a realtor who's not scared to have those conversations with you. Okay, there you go. Pricing 101 on a rainy Thursday. If you have any questions, what is my house worth? Again, it's not what the Zestimate says. It's not what HomeBot says. It's not whatever. Those give you an idea. They put you in kind of a range, okay? Because if you look further, they'll say 403, 500 or whatever, but right below it says a range, like 370 to like 450. It doesn't know. It doesn't have pictures of your house. It doesn't know what kind of Brazilian granite you have, all that stuff, okay? Talk to a realtor. Let the realtor come in, show what's going on in the market right now. Let's look at your house. If we plugged your house into this market, where should you be to maximize the amount of money that you could make? Okay, not based on what you owe, not based on what you put in, not based on emotions, but based on fact, based on the market. That's what we're here for. Give us a call, 470-233-4409, or hit me on email down below. This is Steve. Take care. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching the video today. If you want more information on what's going on in the real estate market, take a look at some of these videos over here that we've posted, keeping up with what buying, selling, things that are going on in the North Georgia market. But if you want to keep up with everything that we post to our YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel down there, bottom right. That way you won't miss out on anything.